I think I wouldn't say that the anti-hero aspect of the character is gone. Um, we talked about before, he has the attributes of a hero, but um, it's difficult decisions, difficult choices. Sometimes there's no right answer. You know what I mean? I felt like in this particular, everybody has sort of heard the line, it's hard for a good man to be king. And so I think there's an aspect of, as much as he's a superhero, it's like the Godfather, you know what I'm saying? It's him learning what it means to take on rulership and take on the throne. And sometimes you have to do bad things, or you maybe need to do bad things so that there's justice, so that there's peace, and it's not any clear-cut decisions. Like, if, for instance, Wakanda has existed the way it is, partially because it kept people outside. Now, do you at this point allow people to come inside? That's a difficult decision, because it's part of your identity to a certain degree. So I think the anti-hero is there. The hero is definitely there because he's a superhero. The funny thing about it is when you initially hear that they're doing the movie at all, like, take myself out of it, that it's happening, I think it's like, huh, really? If you know what it is that gonna work? Are people gonna receive it? Who's gonna go see it? So I think I wasn't sure if it was the right time. It was just the challenge that I needed. And I knew I have to do this regardless of how people receive it, or, if it's the lowest grossing Marvel movie ever, for whatever reason, because that's where the world is, then I just have to give credit to Marvel and for doing that anyway. But what's been surprising is that everybody is excited about it. That I haven't met one person who was like, man, I don't want to go see that Black Panther movie. And I think we love things that we wish they had already happened. In a perfect world, like, this would have already happened. Like, it would be no question, there'd be no boundaries, no reasons for this to not have happened before. So I think when you see a moment like this, what's special about it is that we're all dreaming the same dream. We all want the world to be at a place where it's possible. And so, I said it when we I guess did the written interview or whatever. People celebrated when Obama got elected. Like, it's people that voted against him that still celebrated. Like, because they were like, oh, I see what this means now. So I think it's a similar thing. Like, I hope the movie can live up to that. I pray it can live up to that. But and I hope it exceeds it, actually. So it's interesting that he chose a very powerful and strong Panther who didn't get beat as much. I don't know if it's to offset, but in Priest versions, he's more like, he takes an L, he takes losses to win a lot of times, which is a very interesting strategy. He's a ninja in Priest version. He's like a knight in Hudlin's version, without stopping it or disrupting it. Then that would mean there's nowhere in the world he would speak with a European accent. If I did that, I would be conveying a white supremacist idea of what being educated is, and what being, royal or presidential or whatever that is, because it's not just about, in this particular superhero, it's not just about him running around fighting, coming in mysteriously to save the day, or or even being part of a team. You know, he's the ruler of a nation. And if he's the ruler of a nation, there's certain moments when he has to speak to his people, he has to galvanize to his people, and there's no way I could speak to my people who have never been conquered by Europeans with the European voice. So, you know, this movie is that, but it's also, it shows you the political power as well. You know, what do you do when, you know, you do have access to all the resources? When you do give, you know, I decide whether you are in this position or that position, and that affects your family this way, or as we talked about, who do you allow to be in the country at all? You know, so who controls the borders? Who controls zoning? Who controls all those different things that we see in our world today? We're seeing people with power and the abuse of power, so it's similar, but it's both sides of it.